Hi, it's Paul here from Hurricane Forex, and this is the Hurricane Forex trading indicator. So it runs on top of MetaTrader 4. Just going to give you, this is not going to be a brief introduction. I'm going to go into some details about the sort of things and the information you get and how you can work out where to enter the trades, where to take profit. I've just completed a gold trade. In fact, it was this one. I took the entry here, put my stop down here, and there was my take profit, made over $1,000 in it. So I'm going to start off by talking about what's on the screen. So there's lots going on the screen. I know that some people like clean charts, but for me, I prefer as much information as I can have to help me make good trading decisions. And here are some good things about good trading decisions. The first issue with trading is that entries are easy. Okay, it's actually easy to get trade entries. The actual difficult thing is risk reward and taking profit and knowing when to come out of a trade. And it's so, and also the whole psychology of it actually. So if you've got a stop on, all right, do you move your stop? Most people, new traders tend to see it heading towards their stop and they move it. And it's hard to have the resilience to say, if it stops out, it stops out. There'll be more trades, but you have to have obviously the equity to run it. This indicator is used quite a lot to do prop challenges. And it does provide a lot of information about what's going on in any kind of marketplace at a glance. Also, when you see these arrows, it gives signals. You can actually set up MetaTrader and it will send an email to you and can notify on your mobile phone that there's a potential trade. Doesn't mean there is a trade. It just means there's a potential trade. Okay, so I'm going to go through what's on the screen first. So here, you can see we've got fib levels. These are calculated by the indicator. So as I said before, everything you see on the screen here is actually the Hurricane Forex indicator running on MetaTrader 4. There's no extra indicators, it's all built in. So these fib levels we use to calculate our targets. Okay, potential targets. So for instance, on this trade here, there's our target, that little green line there. So we get an alert there and we evaluate. We put our stop on. We basically evaluate our risk reward, and then we put our take profit on. That one would have taken profit. This one I just did actually. This is gold, and in fact this trade I took, and I entered it here, and I just took profit, which was really sweet. And this one, so for instance here, you can see that the entry on this candle takes profit before it pulls back, and you'll notice how the market bounces off of these fib levels. So we try and target fib levels. Okay, so. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. You either just target where the green line is, or you target the next one, and then when the price hits your first fib level, you make the trade safe. Depending on what sort of trader you are, you might be a long-term trader. I always run on the hourly chart to get my signals. So you might. So for instance, this also works on the 4-hour chart, as you can see, but you get less signals, obviously, because you tend to get much more sort of overall trade signals. Look at this sell with much bigger targets, but of course you have to be a lot more patient for that. And I'm a bit impatient, so I like to sort of trade for that. So so back to this. So we've got our fib levels to give us the targets and stops. The second thing we've got is, you can see these 3 white lines. Gold's not a good one to demonstrate it very well on. Let me just flip to a different chart. Hang on. Alt tab. Okay, so it's Control tab. Control tab flips my charts. So this really shows you the 3 lines. They're not. This yellow one is in fact a moving average. These 2 white and blue ones, you can see the white one. It's stepped, and that's because I'm using Hekanashi calculations to work it out, rather than just a simple moving average or an EMA. So it starts off with an EMA but uses Hekanashi calculations to work it out. Now the reason for that is, look at this. You see how the line's completely flat? Well, that's how we know whether we're in a flat market or not. So the indicator can tell you up here in the corner whether you're in a flat market. And then we've got this blue and gold line that changes colour, and if it's blue it's bearish, and if it's gold it's bullish. And you can see how when the market pulls through this white line, you can see how that goes gold to say we may be going bullish at this point. However, there are a few things to stop it. So firstly, we often get bounces off of this white line. You see how close it gets to this white line as we go down. This is the 100 period HA MA, which I sort of developed out of taking an EA mixing with Hekanashi. And this is a 200 period HAMA, and this is just a standard moving average just to give us an idea where things are at. So you can tell quite a lot from these three lines of what's going on in the market. You can tell, so for instance, I've got an entry here. See, that's a sell there. There's its take profit, which it hits. There's a sell there. There's its take profit, which it hits. That one has the same take profit, and it hits that. So you've got three trades there going on rather nicely in a bearish trend. And you can tell that because everything's sell, sell, sell. You see? So that's a sell, sell, and you can, if you see it bounce off like that and you get that sell signal, probably worth you can evaluate the risk reward, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute because it's all built into this system. So these three lines show you the general trend you're in. Now you'll notice here the way that this line here, the 200 period MA, HMA, Heikin Ashi moving average, goes flat like this and straight, and see how the white 100 period Heikin Ashi moving average moves up towards it and then crosses. And what we're basically seeing is when you see this change of direction, you see how it comes into it and then it sweeps up and starts, and you see price breaks up through this area here, then you know you're moving into an uptrend, and you'll start seeing uptrend. See how these get these buy candles, buy signals, not candles, buy signals, okay? And you can, and then what happens is you can see that the line's gone gold. This 200 period HMA has gone gold, and this white one is now, you can see how it's moved into an uptrend. So that's basically how we swap. And also here we've got these daily step counters, and they can see what the daily trend is like. Okay, so the daily trend is gone into an uptrend here. Before here it was bearish, so this is quite a good screen to actually look at. Euro Swiss, this is Euro Swiss. Now on top of all this, we've got some other tools that you can use. So when you get a signal, you've got to evaluate the trade. So down here you can see we've got something that says trade calculator. Now this red and green line here, so at the moment I need to find one with a recent signal on it. Let's just do that. Control tab through. That's a recent signal there. So let's say I'm considering this trade, okay? Now you can see there's a red line and a green line, horizontal line here, and you can see here it says risk and reward. Now at the moment it's a 1-to-1 risk reward. I could actually take this trade with just a target of here. Now let's say I wanted to target up there. So what is it? I click on this green line here to select it, and then I just drag it up to below, let's say just below the 50%, and you see how now it's a 2-to-1 risk and reward, and I can see my risk is $1,300 and my reward would be $2,600 based on the current price. I actually kind of like this trade, alright, but I guarantee you it'll probably hit here, okay, in this uptrend. It will probably just go straight up to here, then it will bounce off, and then it will go up to there. So I'd prefer to make two trades out of this. So when it gets up to here, if it bounces off there, then I've taken profit, and then I'd look for a new pullback to enter another trade. The other way of doing it is, of course, you could put your take profit up here. When it gets up to here and you get your pullback, just add another trade, move your stop inside entry. So that sounds a bit complicated, but by moving this stop and take profit, so let's say I want to bring my stop closer, I can drag it up like that. You can see how my risk has now gone to 882%. Now that's down here for working out a trade. So you click and drag like this. So that's now working out my risk reward for any trade really, really easily. Now up the top here I also have all the trades. I've actually got no trades on at the moment because it's like 5 o'clock in the evening, and I actually I've taken my profit. I made about over $1,000 today, dollars. So so I'm looking here, up here I've got the total risk I've got on, and the total reward I've got on, and the risk reward that all my trades added together add up to. So up here shows me all my trades and what they're doing, and down here can show me the single trade that I'm either in, or I can just put it up for. So let's say I'm interested in this trade here. Now this will go blank there. It's gone blank because the price is actually up here, so you can't really see it. But let's say I'm interested in a shorter trade, then I can actually just move it up like there and it will calculate it. You can set the lot size just by doing Control I for indicator, edit like this, and there's all these settings. Down the bottom here is the lot size, so you can say okay, my lot size is going to be 0.5, hit OK. It doesn't actually change the lot size in MetaTrader, and now you see the calculations are made based on 0.5 lot size. So it's quite a useful function for being able to set it up. I've also got some utilities and tools that will be very useful for you. If you join my my Discord, and the details are on the website at hurricaneforex.com. Over here we've got a little button, you press this and it brings up the alerts, and there you can see some alerts. This is the sort of alerts you get. So dollar CAD sell break, so I'm going to go have a look at that. That would have come up a while ago, so the best way of doing it is doing window, more windows, and hit U for dollar until we get to it, and then activate, and that will bring up the dollar CAD. I'm actually a bit late to the game. Obviously you can see the price is nearly at take profit already, and I missed that trade, but I did actually get the trade before it. In fact, this trade here, which had a target of here, and you can see how it got to that trade target quite neatly, and it will generally get to the target. So, but you have got to evaluate the trade. So, for instance, here, I wouldn't be too keen on taking a short during here because it is still technically an uptrend, and in fact the market's flat, and up here it would say market flat. So you can see how you can build up your trades. You can trade it with anything else, obviously, but with all this information like your risk and reward, trade risk and rewards, being able to calculate a trade just by clicking on this line, just click on the line like this, click on it, that's it, and then you can just drag it, and you see how the trade calculator changes. So let's say I'm interested in a little trade here, I'd have to have my risk probably here, and then my reward is on the 11.8%, so that would show me that I could make a massive $70. It's 1-to-1 risk and reward. So you can decide straight away just by moving these lines around your screen. So you just click on it like that to select it and then move it, and then let's say I want to do a longer term trade, so my rewards down there, and let's say I want to enter here. I wouldn't do this, I'd enter on pullbacks. I don't enter on that. Sell there, but you see there's two sells. There's one there and your stops there, so it actually came back, and there's another one there. There's actually 3 trades going on here. So there's one here which went to target, which was here. There's one here which went halfway down and then pulled back, and actually might have stopped you out depending on where your stop was, because it did these little candles here. Then there's another trade here down to here. So yeah, you can then evaluate the trade. So when you see basically this is how it works. When you get a signal, you look at the trade, you do your risk reward with the trade calculator, okay, and decide whether or not it's a trade that you want to enter. If it is you want to enter, you enter the trade, you put your stop above the take profit, don't put it at the take profit, and sorry, your take profit above this take profit line, because it's on that fib level, and then you put your stop just above here somewhere, above this stop, and then you enter the trade, and then you wait and see how you go on from there. So I hope that's really helpful. If you want to come and join our little group on Discord, it's really worth doing. We've got a small group that's growing. Here it is, and you can see people doing their prop challenges and everything using the Hurricane Forex system, and it really just takes away. You know, I know people love the blank charts and drawing a couple of rectangles and going, I'm going to take that because that's strong support and resistance. But actually, I think the maths behind the fib levels is very interesting as well. In fact, this is another take profit I could have had if I'd have stayed in the trade. But unfortunately, I was working today. So, okay, so moving forward. So if you want to sign up for Hurricane Forex, you can do it simply through the MetaTrader 5 market on your terminal. So if I bring up this, see I'm in no trades market, and it should be in here somewhere. If you just search for Hurricane Forex, there you go, that's the one. And also, obviously I haven't purchased it because I wrote it, but then you just go, buy, rent, download demo. You can do that from in there. So how much does this incredible tool cost? Basically it's $30 a month, and that's just to buy me some beer, although I don't drink, but you know, just $30 a month, which and then or there is other options. You can buy it outright for $800, and there's some different options in there. You can download a demo, but of course you can only test it on the tester thing. You can't actually run it live. But for $30 a month, you know, it's worth giving it a go. See if it works for you. It doesn't work for everybody. Some people have different ways of trading. I personally, you know, I'm more of a I like a short trade. I sometimes trade overnight, but generally I like trades that are I'm in them and I'm out of them. I don't like to do anything clever, so this kind of works for me. Anyway, that's it. So it's hurricaneforex.com is the website you need to go to. Please join the Discord, because we've got some special tools you can download for free, including one to open all the currency charts you need. You know, and there's support there and help, especially if you're trying to set it all up and everything like that. Thanks very much for watching this video.